Good day, spiritual beings from Celestial Medium. Is there life after death? This question has intrigued humanity for millennia. It is whispered about through sacred texts, visions, and mystical experiences. Across all cultures and belief systems, one consistent truth remains. There is an afterlife, and we are infinite beings. Death is not the end. It is merely a transition or transformation, a doorway to another realm of existence. It serves as a gateway to the next step in our personal evolution. In this exploration, we will delve into the teachings of esoteric wisdom, the beliefs of ancient civilizations, and near-death experiences to uncover the truth about what awaits us beyond the veil of death. Throughout history, mystical traditions have spoken of the soul's immortality. From Hermeticism to Western philosophy, these teachings suggest that just as nature moves in cycles, so too does the human experience. Life, death, and rebirth are all part of a grand cosmic rhythm which is exemplified in nature. The Hermetic axiom, as above, so below, implies that what happens in the heavens and in nature is reflected in human life. As the tree dies in winter, to be reborn in spring, so do we. Death is but a shift in energy and consciousness, where the soul leaves behind that version of its physical shell and either transitions into another physical body for another round of incarnation, or evolves into a higher vibrational state and moves closer to the Creator. Hermeticism also teaches us that what the Hindus call karma is the law of cause and effect at work, one of the universal laws which states that every action generates a corresponding reaction that ripples through time. The energy that we exert in this life will follow us and eventually return, because it is our energy to keep. Hindu philosophy describes existence as an ongoing infinite cycle of birth, death, and rebirth known as samsara. According to the Bhagavad Gita, the soul, or Atman, is eternal and merely changes bodies as one changes garments. Karma asserts that every thought, word, and deed has consequences that shapes an individual's present and future experiences. Karma determines the conditions of one's next life. Those who achieve spiritual enlightenment during an incarnation break free from the cycle and attain moksha, or liberation, merging with the divine source. The Tibetan Book of the Dead describes the soul's 49-day journey through the bardos, which is the intermediate state between life and rebirth. Here, the soul encounters guides, visions, and opportunities for spiritual liberation. In this state, we are stripped of the material and imperfect aspects of ourselves that have weighed down our pure souls. The text describes the soul's journey through different stages of the bardo, including the dissolution of the mind and a life review. Sages liken this to a long period of meditation and reflection. The text also includes chapters on the signs of death and rituals to undertake when death is closing in or has taken place. The ancient Egyptians devoted much of their civilization to preparing for life after death. To them, the soul, or Ka, embarked on a journey through the underworld, guided by sacred knowledge and the help of Anubis. One of the most profound rituals was the weighing of the heart. In the Hall of Maat, the heart of the deceased was placed on a scale against the feather of truth. If the heart was light, the soul could enter the paradise known as the Field of Reeds. If heavy with wrongdoing, the soul faced reincarnation, or worse, obliteration. For the Egyptians, death was not to be feared. It was a transition, a continuation of life in a different plane of existence. Their elaborate burial practices, pyramids, and sacred texts all point to the deepest understanding of the soul's immortality. For the Egyptians had an innate understanding that we are immortal beings. Christianity also speaks of an afterlife where the soul continues beyond the physical realm. Jesus spoke of eternal life, emphasizing that death is not an end, but a passage to a divine existence. The resurrection of Christ is a cornerstone of Christian belief, symbolizing the triumph of the soul over death. Many Christian mystics describe death as a return to unity with God. Additionally, near-death experiences from Christian individuals often describe a tunnel of light, encounters with angelic beings, and a profound sense of peace, affirming the teachings of an afterlife. The Gnostics believed that the physical world was an illusion, a temporary construct that trapped the divine spark within each soul. To them, death was a liberation, a return to the true source beyond the material plane. One of the most significant discoveries, shedding light on Gnostic beliefs, was the Nag Hammadi Library, a collection of ancient texts found in Egypt in 1945. The texts were originally written between the 2nd and 4th centuries. These writings, including the Gospel of Philip and the Apocalypse of Paul, describe the afterlife as a journey where the soul must pass through different realms, overcoming the spiritual gatekeepers who try to keep it bound to the material world. The Gospel of Thomas suggests that true enlightenment allows one to transcend death before it even arrives, by recognizing one's divine nature while incarnated. True life and liberation are attained through spiritual understanding and a rejection of the material world, with death viewed as a transition to a state of unity rather than a punishment. The Apocalypse of Paul described the soul ascending through 10 heavens or levels of consciousness. The soul ultimately returns to the pleroma, or the fullness of divine existence, where it is reunited with its true source. All of these religious and philosophical movements speak of life after death, emphasizing that consciousness continues beyond the physical realm. While many skeptics may dismiss these beliefs as mere myths, cultural traditions, or wishful thinking born out of humanity's fear of the unknown, the consistency of afterlife descriptions across different civilizations and time periods suggests otherwise. The idea of an eternal soul, a journey beyond death, and an ultimate reunification with the divine is not confined to one faith or philosophy. It is a universal theme that has persisted for thousands of years. Near-death experiences, often referred to as NDEs, provide some of the most compelling evidence of an afterlife. Those who have temporarily died and returned often describe similar phenomena, leaving their body feeling immense peace, traveling through a tunnel of light, encountering beings of love, and experiencing a life review. Dr. Raymond Moody's research on NDEs has revealed consistent patterns across cultures and religions, reinforcing the idea that consciousness does not end with physical death. One famous NDE case is that of Pam Reynolds, a woman who underwent a rare surgical procedure that required her to be clinically dead. During this time, she reported detailed observations of the operating room, despite having no brain activity. She also described traveling through a tunnel of light, meeting deceased relatives, and experiencing an overwhelming sense of peace and unity. Dr. Mary Neal, an orthopedic surgeon, also had a profound NDE after drowning in a kayaking accident. She described meeting spiritual beings who communicated that it was not her time to die. She experienced an indescribable sense of love and oneness before returning to her body. Her experience left her with a deep conviction that life continues beyond death. Bystanders or onlookers, including physicians, nurses, and relatives or friends of the dying, sometimes report seeing a light or transparent replica of the dying person leave that person's body at the point of death. Some report light filling the room or overwhelming feelings of energy. Most who have experienced NDEs return with a profound sense of purpose, no longer fearing death and embracing life with deeper meaning. Others report meeting deceased loved ones or spiritual guides who impart knowledge about their soul's journey. Likewise, past life memories reported by young children, many of which have been thoroughly investigated and verified, offer compelling evidence that consciousness does not simply cease upon death. Studies conducted by researchers like Dr. Ian Stevenson document cases where individuals recall precise details of past lives that they could not have possibly known. The universality of these experiences suggests a common thread running through all human encounters with the afterlife. These experiences suggest that our consciousness continues, not as a vague energy, but as an aware and evolving presence. Ultimately, While the materialist worldview may argue that consciousness is a mere byproduct of the brain, growing research in quantum physics and metaphysics suggests that consciousness is non-local, existing beyond the physical body and capable of transcending time and space. If this is the case, then the teachings of ancient wisdom traditions, from Hermeticism and Hinduism to Christianity and Gnosticism, may hold deeper truths than modern science has yet to fully comprehend. If we have lived before, why don't we remember? The answer lies in the nature of spiritual evolution. Forgetting past lives is part of the learning process, allowing us to experience each incarnation with fresh eyes. The veil allows for more authentic experiences, challenges, and opportunities for growth. My own spirit guides and many sages suggest that the purpose of forgetting our past lives is to allow us to rediscover our divine nature through our own free will and sincere desire to evolve. It is only when we awaken to this truth on our own, rather than simply remembering it, that we can fully embody our divinity and recognize our infinite essence. Once we reach this level of understanding, we are no longer bound by the cycle of reincarnation and can continue our spiritual evolution to higher states of existence. Medically, we don't remember past lives because the process of birth and the development of our brains, particularly the hippocampus, which is crucial for memory formation, likely erases or prevents the encoding of memories from previous lives. Our brains are not fully developed at birth, and the hippocampus, responsible for forming memories, continues to develop during infancy and early childhood. This means that memories from before this period, including potentially past lives, may not be stored or are inaccessible. Some theories suggest that while our subconscious may hold memories from past lives, they are not accessible to our conscious awareness. However, spiritual practices such as meditation, hypnosis, and past life regression therapy can reveal glimpses of past lives. Some believe that as humanity evolves spiritually, the veil of forgetting will gradually lift, allowing us to integrate our past experiences while still engaging in the present. Every tradition we have explored affirms one universal truth: death is not the end. From the ancient Egyptians to Hindu sages, from Christian mystics to Gnostic wisdom, and even modern near-death experiences, all point to the continuation of the soul's journey. Furthermore, the journey is not universal. Cultural differences and personal idiosyncrasies generate a variety of experiences. Why would a Muslim or Buddhist with very different beliefs experience death the same way as a Christian? Despite their differences, all these traditions and perspectives share fundamental similarities. The idea that the soul continues beyond death, that our actions in life shape our experience beyond this world, and that there is a greater reality awaiting us. Near-death experiences reported by individuals from vastly different cultural and religious backgrounds describe strikingly similar encounters. These patterns are difficult to attribute to mere hallucinations or cultural conditioning alone. Beyond these traditions, true evidential psychic mediums also provide accurate and compelling evidence of life after death. I started on my journey as a medium trying to verify if life truly exists after death. As an evidential psychic medium, I ensure that I bring through verifiable evidence from those who have passed. Details such as names, occupations, and even last words that I could not possibly know. Spirits frequently reveal current events in the lives of their loved ones, offering undeniable proof that they are still present. This, along with the fact that I have clairvoyantly seen spirits throughout my life, has reinforced my belief that our consciousness continues beyond this realm. Modern scientific and anecdotal evidence, such as near-death experiences, past life regressions, mediumship, and quantum consciousness theories, continues to challenge the notion that life ends at death, emphasizing that we are not these temporary bodies, we are eternal souls, sparks of the infinite. Mortal death is not the end of our story. Each lifetime is a chapter in an endless journey, and forgetting is part of our evolution, allowing us to grow, learn, and experience anew. Like waves upon an endless ocean, we rise, we fall, and we return, forever flowing with the currents of the cosmos. The love we give and receive, the wisdom we gain, and the consciousness we expand continues beyond the veil. The afterlife is not a distant reality. It is woven into the very fabric of our being. The universe is our home, and love is the force that binds us to it eternally. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, keep seeking the light and keep growing. Namaste.